Hello substreamers and welcome back. Now today's video, it's touching on something that affects most adults in their adult life. It is the secret to a successful marriage. Now in this video I'm not going to be talking about fairy tales and unrealistic expectations, no rom-coms and kind of false romances of the like. I'm going to be talking about what actually makes marriages tick, what makes them thrive and be successful. And this is not coming from me. I'm not married, although I did recently get engaged. This is backed by decades of research from world-renowned experts and all of their insights. Now, I want to make the point before I jump into it that a successful marriage is not about avoiding divorce. A lot of people have that misconception. It's actually more about building, I would say, a deeply fulfilling and lasting partnership with your favorite person in the world. If you are interested in doing that, whether you're married, unmarried, engaged, or completely single, stick around and enjoy the video. And if you're not yet subscribed, please do so. So I've told you what I think a successful marriage is, but there's more to it. Of course, it's more than just staying together. There is an academic perspective on what a successful marriage is, and it's a marriage that offers stability, duration, satisfaction, commitment, and quality. These are the 5 pillars of a successful marriage. Now, there's a psychological factor, of course, and that's about, let's say, individual well-being within the partnership, right? Being able to mutually support one another, communicate effectively, resolve problems together, and have a genuine friendship. Because a lot of the most successful couples that I know are the ones where the couples really are best friends. Now, that's more on the sociological side. So let's say sociologically, a successful marriage is one with shared cultural values. And now you may start with different cultural values, but you come to build a shared one. Now also you must play adaptable roles. Putting people into boxes will not lead to a successful marriage. You have to work together. As I've heard it, a marriage may have be 100%, but some days one person's 90% and the other person's 10%. It's very rarely 50-50. Every day is changing, not just energy, but so much more than that. There are always going to be external pressures that influence and affect your marriage. Now, that could be financial pressures, it could be family dynamics, troublesome in-laws. But if you are able to overcome these, you are on the path to a successful marriage. Now, how do you get there? It's not that easy. To answer that question, it's not going to come from me and my writings and findings. It's going to come from Dr. Gottman. Dr. Gottman, he's the world expert on love and what love contains. So I'm going to be talking a little bit now about the Gottman method and how you too can understand the science of love. So this Dr. John Gottman, he put together something that he called the Love Lab, and what that was a scientific way to predict or to find key predictors for marital success and also for marital failure, of course. So with that research, he developed something called the sound relationship house theory, and I'm going to share the 7 principles of that theory with you. Number 1, build love maps. This is about understanding your partner's inner world, what's going on with them. So I guess this relates to emotional intelligence, because the better you understand your partner, their fears, hopes, dreams, aspirations, and also their history, the more you can adapt to the relationship and go through this ongoing process of support and building a mental map of who they are. Number 2, we have sharing fondness and admiration. Now, a lot of people find it easier to criticize others than to praise them, and that's not a good foundation for a relationship. Your partner especially should be the one that you come to admire, be so fond of, and to support and build up, not to put down. We're going to come to why later in this video. Number 3, turn towards each other, not away. Now, a lot of people, myself included, tend to stonewall the other person in the relationship when they're upset or angry, and it just means that they want to close in on themselves. They don't want to talk, they don't want to communicate. And I've worked on this over the years, but it just seems quite a natural thing to do for a lot of people. But when your partner makes an emotional bid for connection or communication, you shouldn't turn away from them. You should turn towards them and try and resolve the problem. This is what John Gottman says, because these small emotional bids that your partner make creates a kind of relationship bank account, an emotional bank account between you. I'm sorry, the flies love me apparently, but not in the way that I'm trying to cover in this video. Number 4, let your partner influence you. You have to accept that a relationship is a learning experience, right? You have to be influenced by their opinions and feelings and allow them to seep into your own, because relationships it's about sharing and decision making. It's not about power and imposing ideas on one another. Number 5, solve solvable problems. This one seems so obvious, but some people, they face a problem that they feel is insurmountable, and they let it build up, and it becomes bigger and bigger until you really can't solve it or surmount it. Now, Gottman breaks this down into several steps of how do you, as a couple, resolve a relationship problem. Well, he says to married couples, first you need to soften your startup. How you approach a problem, you need to go in gently without criticism or blame. Then you need to make and receive attempts to repair the problem, without, again, escalating the tensions, blaming or criticizing one another, or making the conflict worse. And then you have to soothe yourself, calm things down, calm each other down, take breaks. And if you feel like during a problem you're getting overwhelmed, then definitely you need to just take a little break. Number 6, this is overcome gridlock. Strange wording, but this is what he talks about when it's relating to like perpetual problems. Now, your mother-in-law, if she's awful, is a perpetual problem, right? Living far away from each other, maybe you've gone to work overseas, that's a kind of perpetual problem. Your partner wants to go and do their masters, and they feel that they don't have the support or finances to do it. It's a perpetual problem. These kind of things you have to work on and understand each other's underlying dreams and motivations, to solve them, or if they can't be solved, to appease them, and not let them derail the relationship, because some people will sabotage a relationship if they feel like their dreams are not being seen and heard. Sorry. This is typical of these videos, me getting bullied by flies. Number 7, create shared meaning. I think this is a beautiful one. I assume in most relationships you live together, you create rituals and routines together, you build goals together and plans and travel and lifestyle, and all these things you put together. These traditions form kind of the foundation for your family once you procreate and get pets and kids and a house and all this stuff. Shared meaning essentially is alignment, and that's so critical. Okay, that's all the good stuff. Now that's the ways to get the glue to gel and to stay together and make things work. And there's a really cute cat over there. No, doesn't want to play. What can go wrong in a relationship? It's actually easier to distill what can go wrong than what can go right. So John Gottman, this Doctor of Love, great title, he calls it the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. There are 4 things that can completely destroy or sabotage a relationship, and those 4 things are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Now, I've already explained stonewalling, where you close in on yourself and refuse to communicate. Defensiveness, I'm sure you're fully aware, it's protecting yourself by blaming others, in short. Criticism, as you know, criticizing others, their personality or behavior, or their character rather. But contempt, it's a lot harder to explain. If there's anyone here who likes Malcolm Gladwell, he talks at length about this, how contempt, any relationship he sees with contempt, is doomed to fail. It's the biggest indicator, and they've done massive research studies where they've studied thousands of married couples. The couples with the highest levels of contempt have the highest rates of divorce. They're the ones that do not survive. So be aware, if you're in a relationship and you have contempt for your partner, it is most likely doomed unless you make steps to reverse it. So what does it mean by contempt? It means treating your partner with disrespect, mockery, or scorn. It is destroying who they are as a person, belittling them. This is unacceptable. If you do not think your partner is amazing and a wonderful human being, you should not be with them. Fact. What should a successful marriage have? Well, he gave us 5 key elements. They are commitment and trust, kind of the same thing. Respect and appreciation, similar, again the same thing. Empathy and compassion, again very similar. I don't know why he's used so many synonyms here. Forgiveness and authenticity. Does your relationship have all 5 of those? I'm going to repeat, so think again. Commitment and trust, respect and appreciation, empathy and compassion, forgiveness, authenticity. Does your relationship have all 5 of them? I just want to kind of jump in with some thoughts. 100 years ago, maybe 200 years ago, marriage was mostly done out of convenience. And I know in parts of the third world it still is. You are often forced to marry someone for family allegiances or for business or whatever. That's, each culture to their own. I think is a terrible thing to marry without love. I think marriage should be ultimately about love and not convenience, wealth, family, power distribution, anything like that. It should be about love. I think the world that we live in now, say in the West, although I don't live in the West, but in the West, we marry to fulfill a part of ourselves that may stem from loneliness. And I think some people go into relationships trying to use that other person to heal themselves. But I think the better way to go into a relationship is to see that person as the greatest thing on earth, that can not only help you, but you can help them. It's entering into a symbiosis where the two of you become greater, rather than one person pulling the other towards them, or down to their level, or knocking them down, or using them as leverage to climb themselves. That's wrong. You enter a relationship at the same level with someone you love, and you build and grow together. That's how I see it. Would you build a house without a blueprint? No, right? You wouldn't. It wouldn't work. You wouldn't know where to begin. A relationship's kind of the same, and that's why a lot of people say that at the very start of a relationship, you need to ask the big questions. You need to communicate openly. You need to talk about kids and marriage and career plans, shared values, beliefs, basically the philosophies that make you who you are. When you do come to an agreement, or you find that person who agrees with you and you see the world the same, or similar enough to work together on things like family, career, aspirations, spirituality, adventure, travel, community. Yeah, decision making becomes just so much smoother when you see eye to eye. And if you look back at kind of your failed relationships in the past, you're probably going to find the problem in a lack of alignment on some of those issues. So definitely, when you're entering a marriage or you're already in a marriage, you need to find more alignment on these kind of things, because you're going to strengthen your emotional connection in the same thing. If you have an emotional muscle, you're basically working that muscle, right? And in the process, you're going to create shared purpose, and that shared purpose is the kind of formation blocks of resilience. So when your relationship comes up against tough times, you're going to have the strength to weather the storm. And what a beautiful thing. And then you're going to work together instead of drifting away from one another, which is the whole point of this video. Is what I don't want you to do is to drift away from your partner. I want you to understand that the research and science of love has been done, and marriages can be healed and fixed as a result. So try to find someone who's on the same team and moving in the same direction. And if you're already married and you feel that that's not the case, try and take steps to resolve it. Well, it wouldn't be fair of me to say that without actually giving you some actionable strategies or some decent information here to help you get through the tough times. So this doesn't come from me, this comes from Dr. John Gottman, the expert in all this. He basically says conflict resolution is a huge part of overcoming challenges, because a lot of the challenges is going to be the couple locking horns, which is, is temporary. People are going to clash, but it's how you handle those moments, right? It's how gently you go into the conflict, how you attempt to repair the damage, how you forgive yourself and forgive the other person, and how you compromise. One of the issues is that people focus not on the problem in front of them, but on the other person, and that leads to blame, criticism, and denial, because they're not looking at themselves either. The other thing that Gottman says is about financial alignment. That has always been a reality of relationships. There could be one person's wealthy and one is not. It could be that one person's career is taking off while the other one's hit a ceiling. There's a lot of different things to think about. So you have to set joint goals and financial expectations. And there's even professionals who can help with that kind of stuff. Another one, two of my friends who are married have a really beautiful relationship. And one of the things they told me is that even though they've been together so many years, every Friday night they go on a date. It's that simple. They make time for each other regardless of what else is going on in their lives. That time is for them and for their relationship, for their love, to keep on nurturing that. And I love that. I think that's a wonderful idea. So yeah, prioritize quality time with your partner, and put your phone away. I'd say that's a massive one. Put your phone away. If you're chatting to your partner and spending time together, put your phone away. The most important person in your world is right in front of you. You don't need your phone. Now, another issue for marriages, I assume for longer marriages, when you're deeper into the marriage, it's about rekindling intimacy. And I don't really have much information about this. This is where you need to go and talk to an expert, a therapist, someone who can kind of help you explore, open up like new emotional and physical pathways and sensualities between you and your partner. If things seem irreparable, go and see a specialist, a professional counselor, therapist. Help. It's out there. Don't let your marriage fall apart because you're too proud to ask for help. While we're still on the topic of marriage, as this whole video has been, I looked up some marriage myths, and I want to just debunk them before I move on to the conclusion. So, one myth is that more than 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's not true anymore. Divorce rates have actually been falling over the last couple of decades. I would have thought it's completely the opposite, but no, the actual current rate is believed to be between 30 and 35%. And the rate of divorce actually correlates to a number of different factors. The main ones being education level, age at marriage. These are the two biggest factors. So the higher, well actually I'm not sure if it's higher education, your divorce rate is also higher. The younger you got married, the higher your rate of divorce as well, I believe. I should have made a note of that. There's another marriage myth or misconception that says most marriages are just average. Actually, research suggests that most marriages are very happy. It's just the ones that you hear about, people are more vocal about complaint. Remember, we said this earlier. People find it easier to criticize than to praise. And so the people in fantastically happy marriages feel comfortable and they don't need to say anything about it. Whereas people in very unhappy marriages need to let off steam and share that, their undressed annoyances and lack of communications and emotional pains that they're going through. Another misconception is that love is all you need. No, love is not all you need. Love is essential, but it's not enough, guys. Substreamers, it's not enough. Marriage requires a lot of effort and hard work, skills, commitment, commitment to growing and learning and maintaining what you have and improving it at the same time. And while I'm not yet married, it's coming soon, I understand all of these things, and I'm sure it will resonate with you guys too. A successful marriage is a journey, not a destination. It requires you to continually learn about yourself and your partner and grow your patience muscle, and to show up day in, day out, day after day, forever, for the duration of your marriage, which I hope is forever. It's also about cultivating this like deep, loving, trusting relationship and friendship with your partner, so that together you can master conflict and just kind of get through any challenge, over every hurdle, and just together celebrate the joy of life. Because as there's a quote in my favorite movie of all time, Into the Wild, happiness is only real when shared. And that may be the key piece that you need to remember for marriage. Share it all. Share it with love. Now, substreamers, I do come bearing some bad news. It's not about love or heartbreak. It is about this channel. The team and I have decided to take a little break, probably a few months off. In that time, we're going to be working on some new ideas, some new content, some new strategies, some new formats. We always want to adapt and do what we can to please our community and audience, and also the algorithm. That's a big part of the game here on YouTube. So allow us some time to go off. Don't unsubscribe, because we're coming back soon. We're just letting you know that there won't be so many videos over the next few months. So yeah, thank you again for watching. We'll be back soon. This is Substream. I'm Joseph. Have a great day and have a great few months. I'll see you soon. Leave us a comment if you have any questions. In the meantime, bye for now, and good luck with your marriage.